none of this surprises me at all because we see it the whole time. When things don't go her way, she just overreacts, and clearly in this case with Edward Enninful has made something of an enemy because he then dropped her from something else she would have liked to be a part of.
Meghan Markle. Friend, family, royalty. One by one she's cutting them off. But why? And who's next? Royal historian HUGO Vickers just revealed a shocking pattern, and trust me, you'll want to hear his prediction. Let's start at the beginning. Meghan's own father, Thomas Markle, raised her, supported her, but now...
And it seems to happen the whole time, really, which is, people do act in character, and she's very demanding. She's difficult to work with. She has her ideas of what she wants to do, and she doesn't seem to want to listen to anybody else. And that's when you get into a trouble. Well, once again, I think people do always act in character, and there is a theme which runs through all this is that she's always rejecting people, or indeed, as you say, she falls out with them. I mean, her father, for one, who was very good to her when she was growing up, her first husband, he just gets dumped. Her Canadian chef lover in Canada, he got dumped as well. Jessica Mulroney, her great friend in Canada, she got dumped. The entire British royal family, and indeed, of course, apart from her mother, all her own family. And then, of course, you get the stories of staff not being able to work with her. And now we've got the Edward Enninful story we're being told that they fall out because she can't get the cover that she wants, and so it doesn't happen. And it's just a normal theme. And I'm afraid it does seem to me to be a sort of a quite an interesting trend which has been building up recently, which is that, everything she does seems to go wrong. I mean, we're always saying it's going wrong. We always, we look at her TV show, and she puts herself out there and she does something, and on the whole, we can criticize it. And she seems to have got herself into that situation of where everybody, including me, always criticizing her. And the reason for that is because, she just is so incredibly difficult, and that is the theme, and that is the narrative now. And I suspect that that will go on and probably get worse. I think she's trying to control it, and I don't think she's doing a very good job because the trouble is that, winding the clock right back, once they left the royal family, basically they went out into a strange and alien world in which they have to make their own way. And we've talked in the past about the many changes of direction that have taken place during the last few years, but particularly in the last months, whereby everything seems to be, there's a new project and then it changes, and that doesn't work, so she tries something else. So she's always reinventing herself, which of course is what you have to do if you want to be a celebrity and you want to keep yourself in front of the media.
No meeting with Prince Harry, no contact with grandkids. Even when Thomas had health scares, silence. Her half-siblings? Gone. It's like they never existed. According to Vickers, this is no accident. Meghan draws a hard line with anyone who doesn't fit her story. But it's not just family.
So the Love Meghan program, I mean, it didn't appeal to me because it seemed to be much more about her than about the recipes. And, we weren't even told at the end what the recipes were, how to follow them. I mean, take that Mother's Day picture the other day. Most times when you people that I look at on on the internet. I mean, on Mother's Day, they were all celebrating their own mothers and they were praising their own mothers. What was she doing? Praising herself as a mother. So it's always focused on her. And once again, you've got the back of the heads of the children, which we see the whole time. I mean, that's going to get very tiresome, I think. And, I really feel sorry for those children, and I wonder what they're going to think when they grow up and realize how they're being used in these things as well. It's not a very good story, I'm afraid. Well, it's very hard to work out what he's thinking about it all. I mean, I can suggest, that probably from time to time they sit down together and work out which direction that they should be going in the future, because some of the things that he's done recently have been sort of independent and so on, and playing rather more to his own skills. But you know, he must see that they watch everything, they monitor everything. They must see the way all these projects are reacted to one after another after another. I mean, they're not treated very generously. I mean, I'm guilty of it myself. I'm not being particularly generous about it because I don't really like it. And the reason I don't like it is because it's exploitative, but the only reason we're interested in her is because she's married to Prince Harry, and he's now been isolated, and he's just a figure in the background. He pops up at the end of the Love Meghan program just to show that he knows it's taking place. He popped up at the end of the Oprah Winfrey interview for exactly the same reason. She jumps onto the stage in Invictus Games and starts talking about things when we actually want to perhaps him to talk about things and then get on with the games. It's nothing to do with her really, but it's always like she's always sort of trying to take over the narrative. So when you ask me, is she trying to control it? And yes, she is, and then she should listen to somebody like Edward Enninful. I mean, he's a very, highly qualified editor, and he knows what he's doing, and he's running a very important magazine. And I would have thought it would have been well in her interest to keep in with him.
Remember Jessica Mulroney? Meghan's right-hand woman, the friend who styled her rise to fame? Out of the picture. College pals, childhood friends, like Ninaki Priddy, all gone. What changed?
Setting him. I mean, and she doesn't know better, unfortunately, as has been proved time and time again, because they're always having to change direction, as I keep saying, and you just wonder what they're going to come up with next. And the whole situation, that awful interview that Prince Harry himself gave. I mean, the royal family should never give interviews, frankly. They always seem to go wrong. There are very few that don't. And that one seems to have caused an enormous amount of trouble, and has had the palace coming out and saying that he can't be trusted with any information, and then he tells us things about the king and how ill he is maybe, and does he know that? I mean, if he's not talking to his father, how does he know that? Is he just saying that? But it's not helpful. It's all counterproductive, and I'm sure he would like to reconcile with his family, but he's not going about it in the right way. And I don't think that she shows any wish to reconcile with them or have anything more to do with any of them. And I don't think they wish to have anything to do with her either, probably. Presumably at the moment, people are very interested in them. I mean, even if I give a lecture about, the crown or about the royal family in general, it always comes back to they always ask questions about Harry and Meghan. And that seems to be the topic everybody wants to talk about. But as you know, as well as I do, time moves on. Some new celebrity comes along, somebody else that they're interested in, and it's not going to get any easier for them, especially since there doesn't seem to be any real substance behind any of this. I mean, where the working royal family have the advantage is that they are not working for themselves, and they're doing sometimes not particularly romantic or exciting things, but they're working for the general cause, and they've got a huge system behind them, and it's a sort of a hugely ongoing project which should go on so basically forever.
Vickers says when someone stops serving Meghan's image, they disappear. It's a brutal cycle, and it's happened again and again. Now, let's talk about the royals, the firm. Meghan famously parted ways with the royal family and left a trail of broken relationships behind. Some say she's protecting herself, escaping a toxic environment.
And these two are doing something totally different, and it was always a danger when they went out on their own. And I just wonder how long people will be interested in them. I suppose then, of course, again, I say that, but I suppose the poor children will grow up, and people will start being wondering how they're getting on with their parents and what they're doing, and how they're being educated, and whether they wish to be with their cousins, because they don't have any other cousins, it seems. They're going to wonder it surely at some stage. Wouldn't it be rather fun to be in England with their cousins who have rather an interesting life? I mean, I just see it's going to be very bad, I think.
Others, they call it ruthless, even calculated. But here's the kicker. Vickers believes this is all strategy. It's not random, it's not emotional, it's a pattern. Cut off, move on, reinvent. So, who's next? Vickers hints Meghan could distance herself from anyone, even current allies, if they threaten her carefully crafted narrative. What do you think? Is Meghan just protecting her peace, or is she controlling the story? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more royal revelations. This story, far from over.